Hi, welcome to the Gen X Glam and Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone, whether you're new, whether you're coming back. Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate you. I know there are a lot of choices out there, and you're hanging out with this one, Mom in Her Basement. I'm your host, doing a little bit of glam, doing a little bit of gab. And the running topic of conversation lately has been my upcoming community garage sale. You know, I did this thing last year. I'm going to do it up bigger this year. I'm trying to go through my glam, figure out what I should sell, how much I should sell it for, clean it up. Think about this year, I'm going epic. I'm going to get all kinds of little things like this, like spoolies, eyeshadow applicators. You know, I can get those at Sally's for like 30 for a couple of bucks. Yeah, I'm going all out. Like little sponges. I'll get some makeup wipes and put up my long mirror, lean it against the house so people can like test like just like they were at Sephora, but better. All right, so let's get into today's video. What am I testing today? I'm thinking about putting some of my MCO Beauty, some stuff from my MCO Beauty collection in the garage sale. So I've already got my skincare down. I did some color correcting. You know what I found in my little gondola? And I've been wondering where in the heck this thing is. I knew it was in there. No, that's my lip cheat. Here it is. Charlotte Tilbury. We're going to be talking about Charlotte Tilbury today too. Look at this. This is a Pillow Talk eyeliner. I think I got it in the Advent calendar, the treasure chest. I can't remember if it came in the treasure chest or if I just bought it, you know, because I thought I've been on a journey to find like the perfect liner just to do some tight lining that won't transfer. And this is just such a pretty color, and I have dark eyes, so I went in really light with it. I think if I look from this angle, you can see it there. I've also kind of set my lids. I don't do a lot with my lids, but I bought this Makeup by Mario. Let's tell you the real thing, because I always call stuff half the correct name because I nickname everything in my collection. But this is the Master Eye Prep Set Medium. I think I call this like Mario's Wizard Eye Prep. I'm actually a wizard. Just totally made that up. But this is the deal with this thing. I got it on sale. I got it on sale. It was marked down. It was still marked down when Sephora did their last sale. So then I was kicking myself like, oh, if I would have just saw it later. But I really like this base shade of shadow, right? But then he gives you these two creamy ones. This is now that I've had this for, goodness, 4 months at least. These things dried up so fast, and you can use a matte concealer on your lids to like do your first, you know, after your skincare, to do your first line of, I don't know, correction or just shadow primer. You don't necessarily need a shadow primer. You can just use a matte concealer. But I really like this shade, and I can feel the indentation I have made there for a base. So we all know, I didn't know till I went to beauty school, really, you know, that, you know, you start your shadow with a very neutral base on your lids, right? And then you start to build off of that base. So you know what I'm just thinking? I'm thinking that Mario, what I would have loved was, instead of putting in 2 creams that just literally like dried up and are useless, and I didn't really use them anyway because I didn't really like the formula, but I loved this. He should have just done a trip set or a quad set of the various base shades, you know, and he could have went from light to medium to deep, and all in one palette. Because what you have to do on a, you know, on your regular palettes, I got this one out still from yesterday. This is my Too Faced Born This Way. You get your palette, right? And I'm no expert on palettes, on eyeshadow palettes, because like I say, I didn't get hooked on collecting them. But you've got over here, these are kind of like very matte, very neutral, lighter bases that you can then get deeper, you know, and build off of, deeper or brighter, whatever kind of look you're going for. But you still need these base neutral shades. So like, why not just do a palette with just that, you know, because every palette comes with 1 or 2. But if somebody could just find the bingo, you know, 1, 2, more than 1. The bingo, let's call it a quad. The bingo quad of just a great range of light, medium, to deep to deeper bases for shadow, then we don't have to get a new palette and just like, oh, well, the colors in this palette are great, but like the base shades are no good. So let me dig at my collection, find my favorite palette that has my favorite base shade in it. All right, I'm going on, and we have to move on. So let's move on. Like I said, color correcting done, eyes done. Here's what we're looking at. So I'm thinking about selling my MCO Beauty Flawless Glow. Now, I am sure many of us all have seen, you know, people talk about this thing because it looks remarkably similar to the Hollywood Flawless filter. I've even done videos on this. So let's just go in and use it because I'm thinking of putting this one in the garage sale for like, I don't know, $10. Let's go in. From what I remember from using, because I don't dig into this MCO Beauty one that often, and I don't necessarily dig into, my Charlotte Tilbury one's probably half gone, and I've had it well over a year, so it's not, and you know, e.l.f. has their Halo Glow. I like Rimmel's Multi-Fix, I think that's what they call it. Multi-Fix comes in a very similar packaging feeling formula. I think the Rimmel one is, it also totes to be a primer as well. I really like that one. I like that one best for the drugstore stuff. The e.l.f. Halo Glow is fine, you know, but I don't reach for this stuff very often. This is a great, so there is our MCO Beauty side. You know, this is a great alternative to a light coverage. I'm looking for my beauty blender. If I can't find my beauty blender, we're in trouble. This is a great light coverage alternative to going in with a foundation. You know, it's like, it's not a tint because it's giving you a little bit of glow. But I mean, when I say light coverage, I need to be very careful I don't mess up my lids because I took a few minutes to work on those lids this morning. I mean, look, you got the glow, but you don't have like this massive coverage. And it's nice enough, but I'm decluttering. Do I really need two products that ultimately do the same thing? You know, I always point out when I look at this stuff, when I look at the MCO stuff, it tends to be taller. It's a little bit taller than the Charlotte Tilbury, but like, look at the lettering in red, the gold ridging. It's quite the packaging, remarkably looking similar. All right, let's go in now with the Charlotte Tilbury. Like I said, this is getting a little bit on the, had it a while, but I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to keep it. If I'm going to sell one of the knockoffs to gain space for, you know, wherever my next glam station's going to be, because I mean, this is all in the effort to help prepare me for an upcoming international move, decluttering. If I was sticking around, I probably wouldn't have the heart to go as deep as I hope I can bring myself to do into my collection and pull stuff out to sell. You know, I think the MCO Beauty side might even look like a little bit more glowier. But again, like the Charlotte Tilbury stuff, it's not as freshy. The MCO Beauty side, the formula is, you know, it was purchased not as long ago as the Hollywood Flawless filter. So would I buy this again? I'm holding up Charlotte's. In the full size, the Flawless filter, you know, the concept of this kind of product, like light coverage glow, you can get this from, and I think I like it better because you get more of the bronzy glow, and I think I've already put it back, but you know, the L'Oreal Glotion product. I mean, everybody loves the L'Oreal Glotion. I just have it here in my light one. Whoopsie daisy, I had it. I like the Lumi Glotion by L'Oreal because it comes in shade, like 4 or 5 different shade ranges. The one I just dropped is a very pearl one. So if you're not looking for any sort of coverage and just a glow, you can go with that. But I think it's the 903 that I use, and it's just fantastic. Here it is. Here it is. I mean, this I think is the real, and it's not even like, they don't even look anything alike. This I would rather use over this. So I will not be buying this again when it runs out, or when, I don't think it will run out, when I determine that formula is just, you know, it's probably going to be thrown out before I use the rest of it, because I tend to reach for this. If I want a light coverage glow and a little bit of a tint, even a little bit of color, I'll go with this. I feel like, and I was going to do this and then I got distracted before I went in. Before, my plan was to do a little bit of underpainting. This is my Too Faced chocolate mousse sculpting stick, which I really, really like, to warm up my face with. I was going to underpaint before I went in with that. Look at how much I really, really like it. Look at how much I've used. I don't have a ton left. And I think I will repurchase. Excuse me, I will repurchase that. But that discussion's for another day. We shouldn't be talking about repurchasing things. We need to be talking about decluttering things. But I was thinking in my head, like, oh, I should underpaint before I go ahead and use either, you know, both of those products, both of those Charlotte and the MCO sort of, well, jeepers, glow products. But of course I didn't do it. But I think it would have been nice to underpaint first and then get the blend. But I warmed up my face. Look, I got a little bit of bronzy bronze going on. But again, if you use something like the Glotion in one of the deeper shades, you don't need to underpaint with your creamy bronzer and go over it with your glow product, because the Glotion is like an all-in-one type of deal. All right, there we go. I feel like that's not bad. Little pop, like smoothed out, look like I might have just got like a little bit of color. Nothing is pilling. It's not like this super thick base going on. Let's move on to the lips. I happen to have a knockoff of Charlotte Tilbury's lip liner. This is the MCO Beauty. I don't even know if it says the shade. Rose Saturn. All right, there we are. Rose Saturn. And this is the lip sheet. So I will swatch them both. I don't know how close they are because I was like trying to look. I was trying to look there to find two that are close. So there was the Saturn one. Saturn from MCO Beauty. And then this one here, the darker one. Hold on. You've got the eyeliner, right? You've got this one in the middle. This one right here is the Charlotte Tilbury. So let's look at the bigger. They're kind of, this one here is the MCO Beauty. That's what I'm going in with. It's kind of like a pinky nude. I'm going to go in with it just because I don't, you know, lip liners, I don't know. I'm not an expert on them. I have a slight collection of the Charlotte Tilbury ones because they've come, you know, with the treasure chest of secrets, and I've bought little like duos like that I saw marked down $25, get a mini lip liner, get a mini lipstick. So I've managed to build my collection that way with my lip liners. But I mean, Essence makes some great affordable ones. Elf, of course, has their $2 ones. I mean, there's lip liners abound out there on the market. All right, that's not a bad deal. It actually matches my sweater quite well. It was, again, oh, that's the lip sheet. Not that. Did I just put that one on? Does anybody remember what I just put on? Darn it, I'm going to have to watch it back. Oh, I think I just put on the Charlotte Tilbury. I think I did. All right, well, whatevs. I was like, this, and that was kind of pinky. It's the lip cheat. Listen, this one's a rough video. It's the lip cheat collection, but that I put the Charlotte Tilbury on instead of the MCO Beauty. Lip cheat shade Pink Venus. I thought it looked kind of pinky nude. And then this one here is the, this one is the Saturn, the Rose Saturn by MCO Beauty. Now we're just mixing them both. And hey, this is what you get. I'm not an expert. I screwed that up. But you guys don't care. And let's say something else about Charlotte Tilbury. Yesterday, I was, yesterday's video, if you're following the video, I'm going in with my Think Bronze from Clinique. I was feeling like very nostalgic today. And this was my shade like my entire forever, from when I started wearing makeup, and thankfully they still make it. So there's that. But if you're following my videos, yesterday I was talking about how Charlotte Tilbury has put out a new makeup bag collection, a trio. It's so lovely. I posted pictures of it on the Discord channel, and I had said in my video yesterday, I have this Charlotte Tilbury makeup bag. I love the capacity. I love the accordion-esque look, but I wasn't like, I don't know how I feel about her and her lipstick hanging out of her mouth. It feels like a little like, I don't know. It just feels weird to me. Like, it's not my favorite packaging, but you can't beat the luxness of the whole vibe. And that video is getting some love in the comments. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I love that bag. So I ended up, not that I was influenced by that. I wanted to buy the trio. It's completely different packaging. Wait till it comes. You get a small, you get a medium, you get a large. They're all partitioned on the inside. The small, I think, might be a makeup brush. So it only has 2 partitions, and then down the middle it has like a zippy thing. This is Merit. This is the Merit lip oil. I'm going in with that now. So I am going to, since the other one, the one I just showed you, is got so much love in the comments. So many people are like, I love that bag. I feel like in the spirit of decluttering, this will be the next, and this is gently used, guys. I will say I have used it gently, but very gently, because I was always afraid I would get something on it too. You know, my Charlotte Tilbury stuff in my collection, I kind of covet. So anyway, I thought, why not make this the next vessel for the next giveaway? So stay tuned. This is going to be our next giveaway bag. All right. I aim to please. All right. Charlotte Tilbury and MCO Beauty compacts. This one is the MCO Beauty one. It's called Miracle Flawless. This is the airbrush finish by Charlotte Tilbury. When I got this MCO Beauty pressed powder, you know, I haven't used it that much, as you can, let's look at this. As you can see, it's very obvious, Charlotte Tilbury, MCO Beauty, which one I grab, right? Like, I didn't even take the dang sticker off the MCO Beauty one. I've used it a few times. I've traveled with it. But I mean, which one's my favorite? The proof is in the pudding, as they say. But this is not a bad pressed powder compact. It isn't. It's just, this is so good. It's worth using and repurchasing and just letting this one wither away in its box that I pulled it out from. But let's go ahead and let's find a brush. Let's use this thing. Oh my gosh, I need to wash my brushes. I'm getting my hair done this week, and guess what I'm doing? My hairstylist, I've mentioned this before, but it's like such niche information, I don't expect anybody to remember it. My hairstylist is really into Vichy. So I got, one time when I was at Shoppers, I was like, oh, do you have any samples? And I don't know what I bought, but the person was feeling real generous. She went and she pulled this out. And I was like, holy Vichy, I have been holding on to this to give to my hairstylist, and I want to go in my little Halloween pumpkin bowl of samples that, again, if you're tracking my channel, you know what I'm talking about. I got to go into that bowl and see how much Vichy I have left and just give her all the Vichy I got, because, again, I would rather give that to somebody, I don't know, close to me that I care about, that's taken good care of my hair over the years, because she has a granddaughter too. She can give it to her granddaughter. She can give it to, she has friends. Then like sell it for a couple bucks at the garage sale, right? All right, let's go into the MCO Beauty one. This was the side of my face actually that I used the glow product on. I mean, it's okay. You can tell the difference. Like I said, it's an okay pressed powder. But you know, this is the thing, for MCO Beauty supposed to being a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury, it's really not that cheap. There are other compacts out there from the drugstore that I would just as soon spend my money on than go order this, you know, MCO Beauty from Australia. Although it's supposed to be in the Kroger stores in the US. But I don't know if it's still in there. I don't think it hit very well. if you're out there and you've got an, you know, you have a Kroger store, let me know. Like when I was home last summer on vacation, my Kroger store did have MCO Beauty, but it was all marked down 50%. So that led me to think like, oh, they're trying to move it. They're trying to get it out. It didn't do so great in the American drugstore aisles because it is a brand out of Australia. And the first time I ordered, my stuff came from Australia. It took forever to come in the mail, and it didn't even come to my mailbox. I had to go to Shoppers Drug Mart, to the post office, and grab it. So there you go. I mean, it's okay, right? I mean, I'm not embarrassed to leave the house. It's just not Charlotte Tilbury. This is the thing about all the dupes. Whoever they're duping, they're just not, you know, there's an OG and there's everything else. I don't feel like I need to say anymore. I feel like that says enough. All right, let's just do the Charlotte Tilbury side of my face with a Charlotte Tilbury pressing powder. I'm going to go in on top of this with some powder blush and then get out of here. I got to get out of here. This video is all over the place, but I feel like I did accomplish some stuff. I said thank you for your support. Thank you for your input. I love that you guys love that Charlotte Tilbury bag that I'm not as in love with. And so since I decided to pull the trigger and buy the new Charlotte Tilbury bags, the trio set, oh, I got a free something with that. I got with purchase, I got a wand, a highlighting beauty, you know, one of her beauty wands, which I don't use. So that might end up in a future giveaway. Speaking of highlighters, I was going to use some She Glam today. Look at, I pulled out some She Glam, but now I've powdered down. So I don't know how much room I have to do liquid blushes, but let me just go in with this. I love this. I don't use a lot of highlighter, but I do like this one from She Glam. I don't know why. It's very subtle. I'm going to actually go in with that blush. It just gives like a little glow on top of the glow that we've already got from the MCO, you know, glow in the Charlotte Tilbury glow. Again, we had the Flawless Glow from MCO Beauty, okay? And then we have Hollywood Flawless Filter. Everybody, like at this point, the news is so old on this stuff. It's just so old. Everybody has done videos on this, but I'm not doing a video necessarily like compare and contrast and all that stuff because I've talked about MCO Beauty a million times. I'm doing the video because I'm like, should I just go ahead and sell the MCO Beauty one? I think I should just go ahead and sell the MCO Beauty one in the garage sale and get what I can out of it before it craps out. And the point of the story with the Charlotte, when it runs out or when the formula is so bad, I'm like, I can't put this on my face anymore. I'm not going to repurchase it. I'm happy with my L'Oreal Glotion and some of my other, you know, mad scientist ways to get a little bit of a glow. Like, look at that glow that I just got from that She Glam. That's really nice. I do want to use a powder. I pulled out my one size. Hey, I might be getting Ipsy in the mail today too. But all of this is looking just way too pink. I'm just not feeling so pink. So then I had pulled out my Baby Got Blush by Essence because I kind of like this one a lot out of all the wands, because I'm not a fan of the wands, but of all the wand products out there that I've tried, e.l.f., Milani, Tarte, Charlotte Tilbury, P. Louise, the Essence Baby Got Blush wands are my favorite. But I already got the powder on. So I feel like we need to, oh, you know what I pulled out the other day? I wanted to try to start using a little bit more of the kit that I got when I went to beauty school. So I pulled out the beauty school blush palette. This is what I got at beauty school. So why don't we use, gosh, I don't really like any of the colors. I'm looking over there. I'm like, oh, I want my Guerlain blush. Or let's just bronze it up. I also pulled this out the other day because I've been like thinking, should I keep this? This is my bronze booster from Physicians Formula. I have a lot of Physicians Formula stuff because very early on in my collection, I was addicted. Like I was buying it a lot. Let's just look at this. This is not even used. Hey, that could be a selling point at the garage sale. Comes with the brush. All right, I'm just going to go in with the very lightest shade here on the corner. This is my Flower Nose brush. And we're just going to do some sweeping motions. I'm not looking for a ton of pigment. I'm happy with the glow that I got from using the Charlotte and the MCO Glow, you know, filter products. And, you know, the little bit of warm up that I got from using that Too Faced sculpting stick. I'm actually okay. I'm good with this. I'm good. That means I gotta go. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're well. One more thing, I had said, oh, maybe I'll do a live this weekend. I don't think I'm equipped yet to do the live. And I have pickleball from 12 to 3 on Sunday. So when I do my live, I feel like the sweet spot is 11 a.m. on a Sunday. So give me another week to go through my basement, get all the stuff together that I need to get together to, you know, show and tell and say, sell, keep, throw away, pack, whatevs. And we'll circle back. We'll circle back on that live. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're well. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.